All right. So welcome back to Studio 39, aka the Barricade Man. I'm Rob Odie. This is Spotlight 39. We got a real good one. It's real special tonight. We got another young man with another story to share. Before we get into all that, man, please hit that subscribe button. Please continue to share on all your social media platforms so we can continue to grow this platform, continue to get these student athletes the looks that they deserve, continue to share some stories, man, because that's what we're about to do tonight. That being said, floor is yours, my man. Tell us who you are, where you're from, all that good stuff. We'll have some good conversation.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. First and foremost, appreciate you for having me on here. I've heard good things about the podcast, so definitely something I'm gonna be tapping into for the future. I like recently just started getting into podcasts and everything, like keeping up with it. So
You and me both, my
real
man.
dope. Congrats to you. But yeah, appreciate you for having me on here. Repping Southampton County, Virginia, the 757.
757. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And it feels good to finally be able to like be back home and make something happen. That's kind of been like my whole spill, like since coming out of high school. Really, just been my thing. Always like trying to make a way for the next guy. Like for me, my biggest thing coming out of high school, like it was a lot of guys that I was playing with there. You know what I'm saying? Just being motivated, not even necessarily off like the strength of just playing football, but in general, just motivated by seeing my success. So like, I mean, if we being like quite honest, like if I was just doing this for accolades or breaking barriers, like I feel like at this point in time, like I'll have not much left to prove, but
Sure.
at this point, it's what I'm saying. It's really just putting on for my area, my people. You know what I'm saying? The people that I care about, the people that believe in me, the people that support me. You know.
No, I'm with it, man. So look, so 757, right? You said Hampton?
Yes,
The
sir.
Hampton, right, man? You ain't nothing but a short drive away, my man.
Most definitely.
Yeah,
Most
man.
definitely.
I'm in the Fredericksburg area, but it's all cool, man. So look,
Okay.
I'm from the Eastern Shore of Maryland, so I know all about Maryland and all that good stuff. So we can relate, right? So look, with that being said, man, so let's take it back to your high school days, right? And let's just talk a little bit about how your high school career went first and foremost. Did you start all 4 years, or how that happened? And then let's talk about how your recruiting process really started and where it led you to, and then ultimately to where you are now. If you don't kind of just mind walking us down the down that road.
So it's funny because my 8th grade year, I they like had like 2-a-days.
Okay.
We would like practice, like walk through in the morning and then practice again in the afternoon. I was out there for all of like 3 days and I quit. I absolutely hated. I didn't like the coaches. No offense to none of the coaches if they still around here. I didn't like the coaches. Like I just didn't really like football at all. I was just like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm tired. Like I'm like doing all this for what? So I ended up quitting. Didn't play my 8th grade year.
Oh wow.
And we get into high school, and like the way we had like in the mornings, it was like everybody had to come in and sit in the gym before you dismiss to your classes. So all of my friends, I used to sit, like all my friends played on the football, like all my friends played on the football team. So they would come in and they would come in, sit down. And like, I just remember on Mondays, everybody coming in talking about how live the game, what they did on Thursday night, Friday night, like talking about they did this, did that, like stuff I couldn't even relate to. So I'm like, you know what, 9th grade year, I went out there and played just off the strength of like being able to relate with my friends and everything.
Okay. So it started off more of a social aspect more so than career minded, right?
Yeah, for real. Like just having something like my friends like, man, you too big. Like I used to get that all the time. They're like, you too big to not be playing football. Like, so I'm like, you know what? Like, all right, bro. Like I'm gonna just get this on another shot. Like really get into it. We got a new head coach, Willie Gillis Jr. Shout out to him because I would be where I am today without him.
Okay.
He came in, brought a new staff. I played JV my 9th grade year, and I was playing both JV and varsity, like dressing up with varsity. And of course, I started on JV my first year. I was dressing for varsity games. I would get in here and there. And then I started my 10th grade year, my 11th grade year, my 12th grade year. And I mean, I don't know what switched at what point, but I was playing football. I was playing basketball. I tried out for the basketball team. 8th grade, I tried out after I quit football.
Gave up football, went to the hoops, right? You're like, hell, man, I'm a big dude. You know, basketball's got to work.
And I ended up getting cut my 8th grade year. Didn't make the second cuts. So I'm like, I'm about to wrap up all the sports or whatever. We ended up getting one of the football coaches that came in with Coach Gillis, Coach Bailey. He was the basketball coach. He was like, yeah, man, you got cut last year. That shouldn't have happened. Come out here, try again. We're going to, you know what I'm saying? We're going to get you right. So I ended up playing JV football, JV basketball my 9th grade year, and did all 4 years. I would say going into, it was I want to say it was my senior year. My senior year, going into my senior year, I'm talking to coaches here and there, but it wasn't nothing serious. I'm like, all right, my coach is like, at this point, I'm realizing I'm one of the biggest guys in my conference. I'm getting first team offense, first team defense, you know what I'm saying? Kind of turning into the man, you feel me?
Right. Maybe this thing's working out, right?
Yeah. So I'm like, all right, cool. This is a bet. And I get to the point where coaches started talking, and my coach, Coach Gillis, he was if he got a number, he was calling them all day till he got a call back. You know what I'm saying? I got this kid, you need to check out his tape. I got his tape, whatever. Doing all that behind the scenes. I'm just doing my thing, playing football, whatever.
Man, it's nice to have somebody like that in your corner.
Yeah, and when I realized that this was gonna be my way of getting a free education, because my dad told me my junior year I'm playing football. I'm stressing because I'm yo, I need to start saving my money if I'm gonna go to college. I'm telling my people there, and my dad's he's you're gonna get a full scholarship, whether it's academic or if it's an athletic scholarship. I'm Pops, you tripping? You crazy? You need to start saving money. And so I would say my recruiting process kicked off. It was a little bit before our first game. I say it's a week or whatever. We game prepping and everything. I remember I was in my coach's office. They would call me all the time out of class to get on the phone with coaches and everything. And I was on the phone with a guy named Brian Steinspring. At the time, he was at Virginia Tech. He coached me at Maryland, and right now I think he's at Delaware right now. So
okay,
shout out to him. Really, really good guy. I'm on the phone with him. He was recruiting me at Virginia Tech at the time.
Back when Foster was the defensive coordinator, right?
A lot of interest. You said it again?
I said back when Coach Foster was there, right? Old school, man.
Coach Bud Foster, yep.
Old school.
Yep. All of them. The old school staff, right? Exactly.
Hey, no, that's a good man.
I'm on the call. For sure, for sure. And I'm on the phone with Coach Steinspring. And he's you know what I'm saying, giving me the recruiting pitch, kind of telling me everything like that or whatever. I'm on the phone. My coach is sitting there the whole time. And he was like, well, we want to get you down here this weekend for one of our spring game. He said, we try and get you down here for our spring game, everything like that. And I'm sitting there oh, cool. This is probably my first college visit, all that, whatever, it's cool. And my coach, he grabbed my arm, I got the phone in my hand. He grabbed my arm. He's like, tell him you're going to be at ECU this weekend. And I'm like, ECU?
No, I'm not.
I'm about to be attacked. Yeah, I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, tell him you're going to be at ECU. I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, coach, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it this weekend. I'm going to be at ECU. And he's like, well, why the hell would you be at ECU? And I'm like, so I look at my coach, and my coach is he's like, tell them they're gonna offer you. They're about to offer you. I'm like, they are? So I'm like, yeah, coach, they about to offer me. And he was like, He paused for a second. He was like, well, hell, we're gonna offer you. Virginia Tech's gonna offer you. I'm like,
okay.
oh, all right, so I see what's going
Let's
on.
play this game.
I'm like, okay, all right, cool. And literally after that, after my first game, we played Pocosin, and we ended up losing. We lost to them, but I was on the bus, and my coach came to the back of the bus after the game on our way back, and he was like, yeah, Cincinnati just offered you. And that was my first official offer.
Okay.
And then that's when I pulled the Tech offer. And literally after that phone call, it was like clockwork. I was getting coaches coming in, like at any time of the day, getting pulled out of class to talk to college coaches. Phone calls throughout the day, they're calling my coach, my people, my family. Coaches coming to visit. I ended up making a Twitter just so I can keep
up with it, right?
At the time, exactly. At the time, you couldn't talk to like coaches on the phone unless like they were talking like through your parents and stuff.
Right.
But they made like, I guess they had passed the rule to where you could like contact them on the phone and through Twitter or whatever. So I made a whole Twitter recruiting process through the roof. Like schools are literally offering me as the days go by, like recruiting, like going crazy. Like I'm just talking to schools. And it was so dope, like really unexpected, because like where I'm from, it's like a little like rural area, like one highway through, like, you know what I'm saying, that area. So
straight up Hampton, right?
You don't hear
it's
about
the path to Virginia Beach.
Like exactly. So like you don't hear about those things. So it made me like go harder, like knowing that like this was about to like pay for my school. And I had so many different options, like programs that like believed like they could take a shot on the big guy from, you know what I'm saying, the middle of nowhere. Like it really felt good. Like I had people backing me, coaches, supporting me, teachers, like my whole school, like supported me and everything. Which kind of led me to narrowing down my decision. I know I wanted to do communication. That was something that I had came up with my career coach, and she like kind of like sat down with me. We went through that or whatever. So my decision, like I had so many like different Power 5 schools, like my decision ended up coming down to like where I could find the best opportunity on the field and off the field. So my top three ended up being my top three ended up being Syracuse, University of Virginia, and Maryland.
Okay.
I ended up committing to Maryland. I don't even remember the exact date. It was like closer to December. Around the same time I committed to ODU, but you know, at the time. And I just remember I was like planning my commitment later on that week because I was still weighing out my options. I was just so torn between 3 schools. But ultimately, Coach Dave Borgley, he's at Pitt now, Pittsburgh, and you know I talked to him on the phone, and he was telling me about how they had like one scholarship available. You know what I'm saying? He was like, we got one scholarship left. We've offered like 3 different linemen. You know, if one of them decide to commit before you, then you know what I'm saying, that spot's gonna be gone. And I'm like thinking, so that literally he told me that day. I sat down with my parents and they're like, so like, what are you gonna do? Like, you gotta make a decision soon. And I'm like, so I just go to my I remember pulling out a notebook. I'm writing down the pros and cons of each school. And ultimately, I came down to Maryland, even though it was like in a bigger time crunch. I remember like texting on Twitter like, scratch everything, commitment coming tonight at like 7 p.m. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
And you probably had, you know, probably like, you know, 1,200, 1,500 likes, you know, people was blowing up. Oh, like, shit, you coming to Maryland, baby? Where you going? Yeah.
Going crazy.
Nah, man, that's a special time.
Ultimately, yeah. And ultimately, I ended up choosing Maryland. I felt like beyond, like off the field, like it was the perfect spot. And like to this day, I still feel like that. Like it was the perfect spot for opportunities off the field. Like I'm thinking internships, I'm thinking job opportunities, I'm thinking, you know what I'm
Man,
saying?
that whole
Networking,
DMV area, man,
connecting.
is straight jobs, right?
Exactly. I'm like smack in between DC and Baltimore.
Yep.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Two big cities. And even still, I'm still like not too far away from home, but I'm far enough to be doing my own thing, like 3
Yep.
hours away from home. So perfect opportunity off the field. And you know, coming in, I was being recruited for different positions. Like a lot of schools had me like, you know what I'm saying, let me choose if I want to go defense or offense. And they need an offensive lineman. So I was like, all right, cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? I like offense too. I don't really care. I'm just like, you know, I'm trying to get my school paid for. I'm trying to go home and play football, trying to be the man.
Look, man, you want me to sit on the bench and pass out Gatorade, man? Look, if you paying for my education, I'm there.
Exactly. I'm like, they just took a shot on the kid from the middle of nowhere. You feel me? So I'm like, all right, cool. And so yeah, like I ended up choosing Maryland. And it was cool. Like it was a new experience. It definitely took a lot of adjusting. I would say my first year coming in, having a red shirt, and really trying to grasp how everything works, because you know what I'm saying, I didn't really start playing football until my freshman year in high school, and having to sit back and learn how to like understand the defense, how different plays operate, and certain stuff that, you know what I'm saying, some of the private school kids, like, you know what I'm saying, already had coming in. I had to take that step back and be one of the guys to hold the bag, like be on the scout team, like stuff like that. And it was a big adjustment, because you come from like playing offense, playing defense, special team, not getting off the field, like, you know what I'm saying, to like not playing at all, you know.
You're just another dude in the uniform, right?
Exactly. And it was a big adjustment for me. But you know, nonetheless, I've always been like a hardworking guy. So I'm like, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna just keep my head low, do what I gotta do. And you know what I'm saying, my time to shine is gonna come. And then following year comes in, and the death of Jordan McNair comes in. And me and Jordan, like, even though I didn't meet him until my recruit process, he's actually the one who like one of the people who like really like convinced me, like, you know what I'm saying, like we really built something here, bro, like, you know what I'm saying. And coming in, like Jordan was like, he was a beast, like 6'7", like 300 some pounds, like won't say a word, but when we put the pads on, he going around like, you know what I'm saying, doing stuff. And
completely
like,
different dude, right?
Jordan, like, exactly. I'm
Went
like,
from the quiet kid to the grown ass man, right?
To a beast, exactly.
Right.
To a beast on the field. And I was like looking like, Jordan, how you doing this, bro? And he was like really he was like, hold on, give me a second. Give me a second.
You're good.
Okay. Yeah, he was like, it ended up coming down to like him just being a dog, bro. And I remember we would room during it was my freshman year camp or whatever, and I would go in the room and like we would be studying plays, like trying to, like, you know what I'm saying, get right for the scrimmage or whatever. Hey Joe, can you pass me the charger? And we was trying to get right for the scrimmage and stuff, but we connected because we were two like young guys like really trying to like do something, bro. And you know what I'm saying, we built that bond. We started getting to know each other for real. And so, you know, just seeing how everything played out was it was unbelievable for me. I couldn't believe it. I remember when, you know what I'm saying, they told us that Jordan was in the hospital. We went to the hospital, me and some of my teammates and some of our close friends that we had made on campus. And I remember being in there with his parents. You know, they're Miss Tanya and Mr. Marty, two crucial people like in my life to this day. I remember being in there and they were I can only imagine because my heart was heavy just, you know what I'm saying, being associated with the situation. So for them, like, they're so strong, like such strong people. And I'm so thankful that I got the opportunity to even cross paths with them, you know. And so when it came down to it, I remember being in there by Jordan's hospital bed, and Mr. Marty, his father, said, he's like, go up there, like hold his hand. He can hear you. He's just, you know what I'm saying, he's not responsive, like he's not talking. And so I'm like, I look down at Jordan, he's got tubes and everything all in him. I'm like, Jordan, like, I love you, bro. Like, when you get out of this, we're gonna be back. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be back right. We're gonna be back flying around. Just hold on for me. And he literally squeezed my hand. So I'm like, all right, I know, like, you know what I'm saying? I know we good. I know we straight. 2 days later, I think it was like we had like an off day or something like that. I was in between classes. I came to my room, I took a nap, and I woke up to a call. I don't remember who called me, but there's like, yeah, Jordan passed earlier today. Come to the facility, and like we're gonna be here for you, everything like that. So I remember, like, literally, I couldn't believe it. I sat up out of bed. I'm wide awake at this point. I call my mom, and I'm like, Mom, he's gone. Like, I'm like crying, like emotional. We go to the facility, and it was like nobody talking. Like, I pull up, and everybody's like in the front, like hugging, crying, like just lost. Everybody's lost at words. Nobody's talking. Like, it was just so unreal. A person, like, I'm literally right beside one day, you know what I'm saying? The next day come, and you know what I'm saying, he's not there no more. And it didn't set in for a while. Like, we went to his funeral, everything, like to this day, like, it's still unbelievable. But you know, I'm a firm believer of like everything happening for a reason, you know. And like, Jordan will always like be a part of me. Like, you know what I'm saying? I play and live, you know what I'm saying, for Jordan. I live for Mr. Marty and Miss Tanya. And I keep that chip, you know what I'm saying, playing for them. And, you know what I'm saying? Because Jordan was a way better player.
All right, my man. So after a short delay, the floor is yours.
um, yeah. But yeah, like, I mean, like I was saying, like, even to this day, like, I still like can't believe he's gone. Like, I remember like asking Jordan like about this play, or we had classes together because he was a comm major too. So like we had classes together. Um, it was just unreal, and like having to understand that, I felt like really made me like kind of like grow up for sure. Like, in many more aspects than on the field. Like, it really like kind of like woke me up, and I felt like made me a better man, which is why I kind of said like, I feel like everything happens for a reason. But you know, Jordan's passing established a bond, like, amongst a lot of us guys that were on the team, that I feel like will be bonds forever. Um, that Texas game going into the 2018 season, it felt like a movie, man. Like, playing this ranked team, all the odds stacked against us. Literally, a couple weeks before the game, the head coach is fired. We got like our offensive coordinator is our head coach. You know, we're still dealing with, you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
The passing of Jordan. Like just so many different things like playing into it against us. And man, like the energy was just so different from start to finish. Like being a part of that, I feel like will always like be something like that's the story I'm gonna tell my kids one day. Like being a part of that energy, like even when like it went into halftime, we go inside, we come back out, and we're in a tunnel waiting for them to like let us go because the weather got real crazy, like real bad. They like told us like we had to pause the game for real. And we just in a tunnel and we start like the chant like we read it like getting live and
you broke out the Archie.
That's something like right now like I'm getting chills off it because that's something I never experienced, but like I would say that year, bro, we honestly went out there. We almost beat Ohio State that year, and that was Jordan's biggest thing was getting his degree, going to the NFL, beat Ohio State. All of us knew that. All of his friends knew that because that's something he said like he wanted to do. So like literally we played that whole season for Jordan. I can't even explain some of the stuff that we like pulled off was just off the strength of playing for our brother. So that was like
yeah, I want to cut you off, man, but I'm just going to chime in, right? And say, I could certainly relate. Obviously, the whole podcast that I'm doing right now is in honor of my man Darius, right? Unfortunately his story ended, shortly thereafter, his did, but that goes to show, you guys played, with him on the field. There was no doubt about it, right? Y'all made plays that probably shouldn't have happened, right? Y'all won games that probably shouldn't have y'all probably shouldn't have won, right? And that makes me think about, the 2018, season for University of Maine. I'm on the sidelines, man. I'm in the end zone, on the field watching them stop, 3 consecutive, goal line stances to win the game, right?
Sure.
Like that shouldn't have happened. Like, you have 3 shots at the goal line. The likelihood of you blocking that is pretty limited, right?
Yeah.
And then we think about them going on blocking a kick at Western Kentucky, knocked off a big FBS program. That wouldn't have happened. They kick a 39-yard field goal. 39-yard field goal to win the game.
Hey.
It's crazy, right? So it just goes to show
for the ages.
Things happen for a reason, good, bad, or indifferent. Certainly I wish I could have them here right beside me. I'm sure you feel the same. But at the same time, it makes us who we are, right? And whether we find out what that reason is, we won't, right? That's God's way. And like Darius, like, he's a big Drake's fan. So literally every single time I start out an episode, I play, God's plan, because that's exactly what it is, right? So I'm getting a little choked up in my voice, so I'm gonna give you the floor back. You know what I mean? I get goosies, man. I got the chills right now. But it's a special moment, man. I'll take these chills any day. But I'm gonna let you get back to your story, man. It's about you.
Nah. And I actually I remember reading an article about that, and it was crazy because we were like talking about like just so many different aspects. Like it was just a really weird year in football, man. And I definitely remember reading an article about that. So shout out to you. Shout out to his family. But yeah, like you said, like everything happens for a reason, and it makes us better people in the end. And I feel like that's definitely something that made me a better person.
Most definitely.
Yeah, and going into kind of we finish that season. Coach Loxley is coming in as our head coach now. So at this point, I've been through. I'm like once Loxley comes in and he brings in John Reagan. Shout out to him. That's my 4th offensive line coach. My 3rd head coach. And it's crazy, like it's so much, like we had a lot of adversity to get through outside of just playing football at the University of Maryland. And a lot of guys I came in with, these are like my brothers, you know what I'm saying, for life, just off of, you know, some of the things we had to deal with.
Oh, absolutely. I
And
mean,
so
that's gonna live with you regardless, right? I
for
mean, hell,
sure, for
you could
sure.
be here, they could be in Cali, and regardless, that's your brother for life. I mean,
Exactly.
y'all share, something that most people don't, right? And
Exactly.
that makes it special. That bond's always going to be there, regardless of where your life takes you. So
Most definitely, most definitely, and yeah, and that's just how it is. Like, I mean, even though you know, a lot of us are going on doing our own different things as we grow. I mean, it's guys that graduated 2 years ago. I could call up tonight, and wherever they at, they'll stop what they're doing to come. You know what I'm saying? Look out for me. And I feel like that's one of the biggest aspects I felt like I've established. You know what I'm saying? Playing football is being a part of that brotherhood, and you know what I'm saying, making those connections, those lifelong connections.
yep,
It's something I feel like a lot of people take for granted.
no, for sure. And ultimately, you did what, 3 years, 4 years at Maryland?
Three. Yeah,
Yeah.
3 years.
So you still got two years of eligibility, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
we still got 2 years. Obviously you opted, for whatever, reasons they may be, to enter the transfer portal, which
Yeah,
you know, this year that seems to be the place to be, right?
yeah,
Everybody's kind of, trying to figure things out, and with the way that they've made extensions and exceptions and all that, to the rules, it's really opened up the doors for, people to go where they want to go at this point, right? Because they had time, much like yourself, to put into work, at point A, and then maybe point B is ultimately where they want to be,
definitely.
and it works out. But nonetheless, it brought you to where you are now, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
when you opted to enter the portal, how did that process work? If you don't mind walking me through that.
yeah. So, going into this 2020 season, COVID has been like, you know, like kind of weird, just in regular life in general. So, you know, like
Right.
that's times 10 on the field. Like contact sports, like being in each other's faces, you gotta take a step back and like figure things out.
I mean, you
It's
can't
it's
even go into
it's a lot.
Walmart right now in the lawn and garden section, because that's where the virus is, right? You got to go into the main entrance, because the garden center, that's got to be closed off.
Exactly. Having to adjust to this new normal, wearing masks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Staying 6 feet. I can't, you know what I'm saying, just walk up and dap my brother up, like, you know what I'm saying, regular, like, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that.
You got hit with the fist bump, right?
The
Or the air joint.
the stiff
Right.
elbow, yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Even then, you too damn
Exactly.
close, right? Back up. Mind your business.
Exactly,
What I
exactly.
mean?
And I just like, for me, I would say, even though there's been a lot going on in 2020 in general, I felt like the virus, I'm like a half full versus half empty type guy. I felt
Yeah.
like it presented a lot of fresh opportunities. One of them being, you know what I'm saying, in this situation I am today. You know, the new staff, Coach Loxley and his staff, John Reagan and them. Uh, I developed a good relationship with them. And you know, I kind of told Coach Reagan my plans, my intentions for going into the 2020 season, even with COVID and everything going on. You know, he kept it real with me. Kind of told me, you know what I'm saying, they had other plans.
Sure.
You know,
Sure.
other guys, you know what I'm saying, different things that play into it. And he was real enough to sit me down and let me know that. And he was also, you know what I'm saying, like man enough to help me enter the transfer portal and get my transfer process started. Coach Loxley, the whole staff, been supportive. I feel like I can, like anybody in that building who know me, you know what I'm saying? I don't think anybody has anything bad to say about me. I try to treat everybody with respect, from the head man to the janitor, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody. And that's just how I was raised, man. But to really stay on topic, I was looking for a better opportunity on the field, and even with academics. I was in a program, landed in a program for my master's. I graduated spring 2020.
Congratulations on that. That's a big move.
Appreciate it. Yeah, for sure. And started a master's program. I didn't really like it, but it was the best I could do. It was a whole bunch of like getting stuff together last minute in terms of applying for schools and stuff. So I was fortunate enough to land in the program. The unfortunate part was it was just something that I didn't really, didn't want to do. So, having the opportunity in the transfer portal, looking for a better on the field and off the field opportunity. My biggest thing was I'm on the phone with coaches. They give them the recruit pitch and everything, but
take you back to high school all over again, right?
Exactly. It's like high school all over again. And I was fortunate to have so many schools, so many programs, want to, take
That still believed in you, right?
Exactly. And it was cool to see the impact, man, the networking, the connections I had. I reach out to one coach, and what one coach couldn't do, another coach could. He'd get me on the phone with somebody who knew something, and so many different people who, were still in my corner despite the circumstance, and knowing that like really meant a lot to me. Like I take I take great pride in, treating people, doing people right, that do right by me, and just seeing that kind of come full circle and end up helping me on my side really meant a lot. But recruiting process went well, like really well. A lot of FCS programs, a lot of FBS programs reach out. And it came down to me considering a couple of different schools. But really, this new staff come in, ODU, Coach Ronnie, Coach Rayner, and my man CJ Owens. He was on the recruiting staff in Maryland.
Okay.
He reached out to me on Twitter. I saw he was an Old Dominion. I'm like, that's what's up. Like, he talking to me, everything, asking me how everything going. We catching up everything. He's like, what you think about ODU? And I'm like, well, that's definitely something to consider. Like, that's back home. Like, definitely something to consider. So we get to talking. Next thing you know, I get on the phone with the position coach, Coach Rayner, get on the phone with the head coach. And now, we full circle with the thing.
Oh, it's full swing again. They build that relationship.
Exactly. And so ultimately, man, me choosing Old Dominion, first and foremost, it's home, and where else better to do it than home?
That's it.
Definitely a full circle moment for me, being able to take what I've learned, what I've built, like for myself, being at Maryland, and taking that and bringing it back, not only in the program but in the community, and really establishing myself. I'm thankful for the opportunity that they actually like believe in me, and having those different conversations. I felt like was really cool, really live, and yeah, man, like it's just been love. Like it's been so much love. Like people I went to high school with are like hitting me up like, yo, man, I'm in the city. Like if you need anything, like a cup of water, like just hit my phone. Like,
man, you better be careful with that with them rules though.
Exactly.
You can't be sacked. Somebody give you a glass of water, boy. You need a waiver.
I need to know where this came from. Like,
exactly.
But nah, for sure, it's been so much love. It's close to home. My people don't, you know what I'm saying? It's right up the road. My people can be at every game.
That's big.
Yeah, it's really big because there's a lot of times there's a lot of different complications from my people coming to the Maryland games, and it was a little bit more of a distance. So for me being back home for them, that means the world to me, and being able to really establish myself further in my own community is the greatest deal of it all for me, for real.
Yeah, man, that's big. I mean, I'm sure, once COVID lets up, you're gonna be, a walking celebrity, right? When you go to you go to a big time program, right? You live through
Fingers
some
crossed.
incredibly, difficult, times, but times that I would have, and correct me if I'm wrong, you probably wouldn't, pass up or change for anything other than having them back. But the fact
Yeah,
that you got to, build that relationship and in all those memories, right? That
yeah,
made you who you are, like you said. And then you come home, you get to show out in front of everybody at this point, right?
yeah,
There's no
yeah,
reason, the whole neighborhood can't come to the games, right?
yeah, yeah,
That's
for
cool,
sure.
man. So,
I mean,
go ahead.
no, I was just saying, like, I really believe in the direction of the program. Um, I got to talk to a couple of guys during my recruiting process. I talked to DJ Mack, the quarterback transfer from UCF. You know what I'm saying? He known for bred and born. You know what I'm saying? So he like, we back at home with it. Like, what you waiting for? Like, you know what I'm
Let's
saying? Like,
go.
and I'm like,
And you
hold
about to
on.
be his best
I'm
friend,
like,
right?
wow. Exactly. I'm like, hold on, like let me make sure. Like I need to, but I mean, them their whole deal, like the program is definitely on the rise, and it was just too good of an opportunity to even pass up.
Oh, for sure. I mean, anytime you get to come back home, right? That's a
Yeah,
blessing in itself. You get to come home, get a free education, still see your family and friends, but still get to do what you're passionate about doing. It's a
most
win-win.
definitely, most definitely, most
Except
definitely.
when COVID hits, then everybody's got to watch you on TV, right?
Exactly.
Nah, but that's
Exactly.
cool, man. So look, we've been chatting for quite some time, and I certainly appreciate it. You took me down memory road, right? We got real
Yeah.
deep. We shared some memories and some stories, and it's super special. I can't wait for this to come out. But if you don't mind, just taking a few minutes, and kind of speaking to our student athletes that are still in high school. Maybe they're still looking
Yeah.
for that first blessing, or maybe they got 50
Yeah.
blessings, and they can choose what program they want, right? Nonetheless, I think everybody could learn from your story, right? So what would be some
Yeah.
advice that you could lend them going through this process,
Um,
picking the right spot for them, not just because it's a big name Power 5 program, but more specifically,
yeah.
like you did, really drill down to what's good on the field and off the field for you as a person.
Yeah. I would say honestly, um, don't. It's so cliche, but hear me out. Like, don't give up. If you have a dream, you pursue that. Don't stop for nothing. And if dreams come in many different sizes, blessings come in many different sizes, big and small. You may not get that Power Five. Uh, Hell, you might not even get that FBS, but as long as you get your foot in the door, man, you make the best out of every opportunity you have. If you got people trying to help you out, let them help you. Keep good grades. Good grades will get you so far. I was fortunate enough to have good grades coming out of high school, and even throughout college. Um, but really, if you have that dream, man, protect that dream, and really continue to pursue those things. A lot of I feel like it's been a lot of wasted talent, um, not even necessarily getting overlooked, but just off the simple fact of you may not feel like you're good enough to play at the next level, uh, because you aren't getting that power five offer, or offer in general. But any opportunity you get, just make the best of it. Even if you get to go to a camp, or you get on the phone with a D3 coach or whatever, take advantage of any opportunity. That's my biggest gem I could drop, because the smallest opportunity can turn into the greatest thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like me going into the transfer portal during these times, I was real doubtful. Just thinking that, you know what I'm saying, with everything going on and everybody getting a year back and stuff, like I was real doubtful about getting the opportunities that were given to me. But I never quit. I kept reaching out to schools. I kept reaching out to people I know and everything like that. So don't ever give up. Don't quit. Never quit.
That's huge, man. Look, that's beyond the best advice that one could give, right? You know, get the grades, keep the grades, stay focused on your dream, don't ever give up, right? You know, if you watch ESPN,
For
the
sure.
Jimmy V, Foundation, man, that was his slogan, right? Don't give up, don't ever give up. And that stays true to pretty
Don't
much
ever give
anything
up.
in life. You know, regardless of what it is, if you want to be, the best bricklayer to ever lay a brick, don't give up on it, right? If you want to go
Yes, sir.
hell, you want to be Superman, it probably ain't gonna happen, but don't give up. And
Yes, sir.
for student
Yes,
athletes,
sir.
man, if you want to get to the next level is the next level. It doesn't have to be Power Five D1. It can be NAIA. It could be JUCO. It could be D2, D3. Right? It's still an opportunity to get a free education doing what you love to do.
Yes, sir.
That's a blessing, right?
That's all it's about. Playing ball, doing what you love. At the end of the day, doing what you love. It don't matter on what platform, what level. Being able, if you really love the game, you take advantage of that opportunity. And that's not even with football. If you want to be an astronaut, you go in school and you go hard and you get them grades and never stop until you become an astronaut. It don't matter if you 53 years old or if you 35 or 13. You keep going, you keep doing your thing, because as long as you get your foot in the door, you one step closer to success.
Nah, man, that's huge. So look, I'm just say this to the viewers. This was incredibly special. This is why we do it. I couldn't be more blessed to have you as a guest, man. I super appreciate it. I hope we get to stay in contact. Hell, when COVID lets up, man, I hope we we get to link up, because you ain't nothing but a
Most
short drive,
definitely.
man.
Most
If
definitely.
the team will have me, I'll come hang out at practice. I'll come to a game, whatever the case is, man.
For
I'll be there,
sure.
camera in hand, ready to go, right? But
Yes,
with that being
sir.
said, please continue to share on all your social media platforms, man. Like, let's continue to grow this thing. Let's blow this thing
Yeah.
up. Let's make it
Yeah.
big, right? So look, I'm Rob
Yep.
Odie. This was Spotlight 39. I appreciate you.